This is Live Prepper here, the World of Joan on Facebook, and I do Joan Seed series also. Now, this one here is from Survival Mom. Now, I went to the library and I did some research and printed out some stuff. Some people tell me I need to quit doing the free encyclopedia stuff. I want to tell you what, there's a lot to it. This one here is 5 reasons, right here, normal people shy away from the prepper world. And this here was, of course, done on February the 26th, 2015, when she wrote this article here. Number 1, our terminology has negative connections. Bug out bags. Beg the question, exactly, why do you think you have to have a bug out bag? Are you on the lam? Yeah, bug out location sounds a lot like a robber's hideout, or the stereotype 500 square foot log cabin in the wilds of Idaho, home to the toothless refugees from the deliverance. Ain't that something? Bug out vehicle. Getaway car. Anyone? C-Day. Collapse day. As in the day the United States of America collapses. See what I mean? And I don't think it's a strike against anyone outside the prepper world who hears these terms and thinks, what the heck? And that's right. If you're not a religious person, this is aching to be around people who talk church speech all the time. It can be a big turn off. Well, you know, a lot of Christians don't want to hear about it. They really don't. And they're right. But there is Christians, too, who consider some of this. I did a thing about bug out bags. Everybody gets so wrapped up in, look at my bug out bag. You know, I did once. Look what I've got. And everything I had was wrong. I had too much food. I had too much fire starters. I had too much knives. I didn't have this. I didn't have that. But the fact is, I have a lot of knowledge of things. And my bug out bag, I was told I had a year's worth of fish and stuff. A bug out bag for me means I'm not coming home. Means that I have no choice but to leave my home. And it's not going to be just for 3 days. They say prepare for 72 hours. It's for a lot more than that. When people are leaving their homes for whatever reason it is, whether it's World War III or severe virus outbreak or whatever it is, they're leaving to get out of Dodge, as you put it. It's not because they're crooks or anything. It's just they're leaving to try to save themselves or take care of their families, or go to a different location and ride it out till things get better, hopefully. And that's a hopefully. And then we have a number 2, the ditto for our Ackermans. And I might mispronounce that a little bit. SHTF means shit hits the fan, basically. And that's the first time you probably heard me say cuss word. And Tatawaki is the end of the world as we know it. And WROL, without rule of law. And good is get out of Dodge. WROL, without law, is something that you're going to have to really face in an SHTF situation. Because if society does collapse, and I mean not just you see it every day over the TV. Every day somebody, and the thing is, they could be there talk about and showing their support for something, but then you got all these tagging along. They don't care. They're using that person's name as an excuse to steal the drugs, to break into people's businesses, and they don't care what color or skin they are, or if they've worked all their lives to get that business. They don't care. They're not there because of that person in support. They're using that person's death or accident or their rights or whatever as an excuse to destroy and steal. And that's the sad thing about it. Oh, in the real world, who talks like this? If your friends need Zachary or dictionary to figure out what you're talking about, they may decide the prepper world is some sort of secret society with special handshakes, and creepy initiation ceremonies. Now, I admit there probably is groups that has secret words and secret this and that, because some of the groups are very, very, very intense. And excuse me. And the reason for that is because they've created their own little private community And actually generations of these people are in this group. You've got grandparents and parents and children and stuff. So they know about these little areas or whatever they've chose to create as a backup plan. And it's a possibility something like it could be. But as a most general rule, it's not. I mean, gosh, it could be in anything. You're getting thinking about like the Masons and some of these other groups. A lot of them has a lot of that little cigarette handshake going on. And they think we're too negative. That's number 3. When conversations naturally veer towards topics related to preparation, that one thing. But if your stream of emails consists of doomsday's alert from Alice Jones and they will begin to steer clear of you. Guarantee I get those types of far emails from my aunt. And even I don't like them. I'm leery about a lot of the prepper groups. I do check them out. I have 2 different Facebook things. I have one. It's just strictly friends and family and games. I mean, I started out doing the games. I've got a lot of friends on there where we played the same games at one time. So they're still there. And I get a lot of little cute postings a lot of times, and I share them, and that's that. But if I put something on a prepper thing on that page, nobody pays attention to it. They don't care. They're not interested. So I have another one I created for my World of Joan. On that one, and the World of Joan is on Facebook, where I just do how to do stuff from recipes to craft making to building things. Even a couple cute little jokes from time to time. That's all that is. That is just nothing but good stuff about plants and herbs and everything else just to share with people. That's what that is. And then I have a few prepper friends and a few that's not prepper friends that's on that one there because they know about my YouTube site. They know that I tend to do this. But even then, I'm still careful what I post on it. I don't get radical. And I get some of these friends, some of these prepper groups, and some of the friends will send me some stuff that's rather radical for me, for my taste. And it's okay. That's how they feel. It doesn't mean I feel like it. So not all preppers think along that way. And then it says a negative portrayal on TV. Let's face it. Doomsday Prepper didn't exactly do any favors for the prepper world. Too many of their preppers aren't reliable. Many are downright weird. If this is what your circle of friends and acquaintances see as a norm for preppers, do you blame them for not wanting to join the club? I want to tell you, I talk about the Doomsday Prepper quite a lot to people in a lot of my YouTube videos about how it really made us look bad. The guy from Tennessee, and I'm from Tennessee myself, the healthy built guy, I tell you what, I checked his stuff out from time to time. And somehow or another, he managed to get people to pay for his water for him when it got cut off. And he turned around and had people feeling sorry for him and bought feed for his horses and stuff. And now he's trying to get something going on. But they flat out made him look pretty darn stupid on that show. They really did. Because some issues, he had backlashes on issues about his mental illness and all this stuff. It was a backlash on it. And just like I say, on some of the others, they were just really totally way out there while they was talking and stuff. And another thing, the 15 minutes of fame you got, was it worth it revealing where you had your stuff? This is where my bug out place is, and this here's what I've got, and this is my secret stash. And then the guy is showing him making his bombs, his baking pipe bombs. It's totally legal. Don't you think they probably came there was after him now? He was on radar. Get real. Most preppers ain't like that. Most of us don't even think like that. All we think about is just trying to survive. What we need to do to survive from one day to the next. And that's the basis. Shelter. Food. Water. Heat. Medications to survive on. First aid supplies. Things like that. The basic everyday stuff is what most preppers are thinking about. And that's what I think about. How much food can I last on for a few months? Through the winter months. How much can I harvest during the summer? Learn, teach myself more how to do stuff. Harvest more plants this year to grind up and label them and have them as my backup supplies for my medicines and stuff. My plants for diabetes. I got probably 6 or 8 spice bottles of cinnamon for diabetes. And a teaspoon of cinnamon every day helps control the diabetes. And I'll probably buy another 6 or 8 more this year and put them up in case I ever down the road. Because you know what? If something happens, the store's closed, someone in your group's a diabetic, they're going to need that cinnamon to help control it. So there's a lot of natural herbs and plants out there, something to think about that you may want to stock up on in your cabinets and label them strictly saying for diabetes or high blood pressure or even for mood swings. Harvesting mudwort helps calm a person and relax a person. It helps you sleep. It can help with the moods. St. John worts can help with your moods. And it can also help with body aches as well if you're in pain. So that's a lot to think about, stuff like that. So really, Doomsday Prepper, I think, really hurt in a lot of ways. Now, it gives you ideas. But I think they went out of their way to try to find people that really just wanted that 15 minutes of fame. And I just don't want it. Not that away anyway. And even if I did, I'm not going to sit there and say, well, this is where my bug out shelter is. This is where I'm going to go hide when things get bad. And this is all my food I've got stocked up on. I ain't going to do that. And anyway, I don't have much stocked up on by what some of those folks have. Some of them's got 5 years of stuff stocked up on, they said. Well, they just put it out on TV. Something to think about. And then preppers scare them, is what number 5 is. You know, nearly every prepper website focuses on a topic like pandemic, collapse of civilization, the U.S. becoming like Somalia, FEMA body bags, you know, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, we do. We scare. Preppers scare you. And the sad thing about it is you're going to see a lot of, you get on YouTube, you see some of them out there sporting off their latest gun or whatever. And you do get some preppers out there are very rough talking. I mean, that's okay. If they choose to talk like that's fine. That's their right. Now, you don't hear me rough talking on it because I think I can make my point across without saying a bunch of 4-letter words. But I've got friends that can make me blush the way they talk. But that's okay. A lot of them has good points. But then you got some of them that just puts a big front on. Pretend they're something they're not. Pretend they was in the military. Or pretend they was this. Or pretend they was that. And kind of find out they weren't none of it. So, yeah, preppers scare people because they think that from seeing these prepper shows and seeing some of the prepper groups they've checked into and listened to some of these talk things that they think we're all pretty radical. You know, my son and I, we disagree on a lot of things, but I don't argue with him on it because he's set in his ways and that's okay. And I'm kind of set in my ways too. And he's real radical about certain things, and I don't agree with him on it. But that's okay, you know, if that's how he feels, and I'm more down to earth and basic stuff, and that's okay with him, that I'm more like this, you know, that's just okay. So this is just talking about 5 reasons. Of course, then she puts a number 6 here. This one can't do anything about. Until a person is motivated by their own observations, they will likely not do anything. People believe their own data and will actually accordingly. Through the popularity of Home Depot hours before the arrival of a hurricane, one of the very first YouTube videos I ever made was a response to folks who asked, how can I get my family loved ones to prepare? One of my friends, Pepper Potpourri, gives her family prepper kits for Christmas. She makes up for it. Like she'll do a 5-gallon bucket. She'll put first aid supplies or different things. But she makes these prepper kits up for her family and her friends, and she gives it to them as a Christmas gifts. And that's one way to do it. You can do that, And then just say, look, just stick it off in the closet. Don't worry about it, but it's there if you ever need it. If you ever need it. So, there's things I need that I haven't gotten yet, but it's on my list of things that I do want it. Now, the reason I guess I'm not too worried over it is for simple things. The tablets, water tablets to purify your water. I have iodine in my first aid, my backpack thing. I have iodine in my cabinets. So a drop of that will help purify. Also, I have rocks and sand and charcoal to make my own filter with. So I have things already to prepare myself in case something happens. So the water tablets are not really a priority on my list, but eventually I will probably get some of them to keep on. So if you want to try to get your family to prep a little bit, make up just a little prepper kits as gifts. Just saying, I love you gift with some water purification tablets, or maybe some other stuff, or maybe some herb teas or something in there. It's something to think about. Like I said, this is a good article from Survivor Mom, and it's something to think about. So, again, like I said, 5 reasons why normal people shy away from prepper world. Survival Mom. Go Mom. I agree with her on it. We tend to shy away from things. People shy away. And let's say, and even today, I still get looks from people when I talk about it. If I can get one person start changing a little bit, saving a little extra groceries up, saving a little bit of water, especially when they got small children to think about. Even if you're a grandmother and you don't have your kids all grown, but you got your grandkids to think about, never too late to start. Well, this is Live Prepper here. Now, you check me out on Facebook, World of Joan, and join me on some of my Joan Seed series. I'll be doing more of them this summer. And I enjoy sharing these videos and the ideas, and I enjoy doing the research. So my motto is, be safe, be happy,